Namaste and good morning, everyone. Let's start our Wednesday class with the prayers. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parbrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhurбhavasvaha, Tatsavitra Varenayam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Asto Ma Sadgamya, Tamso Ma Jyotirgamya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamya. ओम सहनावतु सहनौभुनक्तु सवीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति शांति शांति. No matter which scripture we pick up, these rishis, yogis, they keep on telling us to meditate. Okay. Whether it's Lord Krishna or Rishi Patanjali, Adi Shankaracharya, or any other Rishi, they all say that meditate, meditate, meditate. So today I'm going to talk about the practice of meditation. So by listening to this, maybe some of us who are not meditating will start meditating. Okay. So what is meditation and why is it important? Because why do they keep on insisting? If you really want to learn about meditation, you first need to know something about concentration. Without concentration, you really cannot reach to the heights of meditation. According to yoga, concentration means focusing the mind on one object. That's how we discipline our mind, because an undisciplined mind, the kind most of us have, tends to shift continually from one object to another. So steadying the mind by focusing it on an object helps us to gradually overcome this ever-wandering habit of mind. Ever-wandering and restless. But luckily, with persistent practice, the mind is able to focus on one object for longer and longer intervals. When the mind remains concentrated on one object for a period of 12 seconds, this is called concentration. Okay, like a 1 unit of concentration or dharana, 1 unit of dharana, 12 seconds. Or you can call it a 12 breaths. When does it become meditation? When you can do continuously 12 units of dharana, then it becomes 1 unit of meditation. So that means 12 times 12 seconds, roughly little over 2.5 minutes. That's a 1 unit of dhyan or the meditation. So meditation can be defined as the uninterrupted flow of concentration. We all know that human mind has an infinite capacity to think systematically, to grasp things that seem to be beyond ordinary perception, and to gain knowledge instantly. That's how this rich mind is, incredible mind of ours. And meditation can add a dimension of incredible richness to your life. It has the power to command not only the body and senses, but also the events that take place in the external world On the other hand, if our concentration is poor, which stems from the mind's own habits of unrestrained anxiety, cravings, and attachments to its previous experiences, they all rob our mind of its infinite power. That's why those are called the enemies of the mind. Let me repeat again, unrestrained mind. That means unrestrained senses also. Anxiety, cravings, and attachments to its previous experiences. Without the ability to concentrate, the mind becomes weak and loses self-confidence and willpower. Meditation seems to be the only way to train the mind thoroughly and to bring it back to its natural state. So that's why all these great yogis, rishis, they keep on telling us, meditate. Meditation practice enables a human being to attain control gradually over the mental modifications. Mental modifications are like fluctuations of the mind that continually disturb our mind field. Meditation is a systematic discipline for working with all the faculties of the mind and organizing them in a manner that allows the meditator to become more efficient and creative, as well as more calm and peaceful. These are some of the benefits of meditation. So if somebody says how to stay calm, meditate. Somebody says how to become more creative, more efficient, meditate. How to become more peaceful, meditate. Because the mind is connected to the body and to the external world, any valid method of meditation also includes other disciplines. At first glance, they seem unrelated. But if you look at it, they are super related to meditation. Like healthy diet, exercise, and a disciplined approach to interaction with others. So ahar, vichar, vyavhar. We got to make sure that all of it is disciplined. If you're not eating right, our mind cannot be in control. If you don't exercise our body, if the body is not healthy, mind will not be under our control. So that's why all of it we need to look at. That is why practicing the following principles in a balanced way is said to be the part of a meditation practice. In fact, Rishi Patanjali, Lord Krishna also in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 6, he told us to have a moderation in eating, moderation in sleeping, moderation in activities. He told us, cultivate these qualities if you want to meditate, if you want to have your mind in control. And Rishi Patanjali, he gave us 10 disciplines under the 2 headings, yam and the niyam. There are 5 yams and 5 niyams. So yams are the restraints, non-harming, non-lying, non-stealing, moderating sensual gratification, and non-possessiveness. Ahimsa satyaste brahmacharya aparigraha. If you are not following these, forget about meditation. It's only a sitting exercise, wasting time. And niyams are 5 observances purity, contentment. Practices that bring about perfection of the body and the senses, self-study, and surrender to the ultimate reality. In Rishi Patanjali's language, Shauch, Santosh, Tap, Swadhyay, Ishwar, Pranidhan. So we got to look at it. Am I following these 5 yams and the niyams or not? Then definitely we got to do some asanas also. Physical exercises, postures. Got to make sure that our back is strong enough, straight enough, so that we can sit for a given amount of time, even if it's 15 minutes or 20 minutes, we should be able to sit still. He said, Sukham sthiram asanam. The posture when you are not feeling any kind of a discomfort, so that you can detach from this body. Because if our mind is just constantly going towards the body, the pain of the body, or any other thought about the body, you are not meditating. Then pranayam, breathing exercises. Because we focus on the breath, and through the breath, we can focus higher. Pratyahar, withdrawing the senses and mind from unwholesome objects. After that comes the dharana and dhyan and samadhi. Concentration, meditation, and spiritual absorption. Okay, so if we are a student of yoga, or if you want to meditate in a serious way, look into these also. A one-pointed mind is cultivated through constant practice. Abhyas is needed. Even in the outer world, something serious you need to do, it takes practice. Prolonged practice. And over here, we are trying to control our mind, which is very subtle, very powerful, which we just let it go wherever it wanted to go for lives after lives. And now we are coming to this point where we understand that controlling of the mind, cleaning of the mind is very important. So it will take practice. Spiritual literature contains numerous accounts of meditators who gained an awesome ability to concentrate, either by practicing tratak or by focusing their mind on a compelling object. Tratak is the eye exercise, tratak, gazing at an object continuously. This definitely gave them some extraordinary powers of concentration, but they remained prey to ignorance. And the pains and the miseries that ignorance breeds are egoism, attachment, aversion, and fear. So meditation, prolonged, sustained concentration helps us cultivate a one-pointed, steady mind, but it is ultimately the contemplative aspect of spiritual discipline that enables the practitioner to channel the mental energy cultivated by meditation in a spiritually fulfilling and enlightening direction. Okay, so we don't want to be a meditator just for the sake of calling ourselves a great meditators. We want to absorb our mind into the thought of God, into the light of God. So in other words, the one-pointedness of mind that comes from the ability to concentrate must be used to sharpen the intellect also. Buddhi, the intellect is subtler than the mind. So if we are concentrating the mind, we got to make sure that we are sharpening our intellect also. That sharpened intellect in turn must be used to understand the higher purpose and meaning of life. Okay, so we got to understand why we are meditating and what is the higher purpose of this life. Meditation becomes a spiritual practice only when the abhyasi or aspirant contemplates the following questions, one pointedly and sincerely. So these are some of the questions we need to ask ourselves. Who am I? Am I this name which was given to me when I was born? Or am I this body which keeps on changing? Am I this titles which I have gained by studying, getting the degrees? Who am I? Think about it sincerely. Where have I come from? Before I conceived into the womb of my mother, where was I? What is the purpose of being here on earth? Why am I here on earth, not somewhere else? And where will I go after I leave? Because we are sure that we will leave this body. There's no doubt about it. Whose footsteps am I walking in? We all have some role models. Who is my role model? Whose footsteps I am walking on? And at the same time, we are leaving some footprints also. What kind of footprints I'm leaving behind? I have gotten so much from this creation. How much have I contributed to God's creation? I've been a recipient of it, enjoyer of it. Have I given back this? Am I wiser than I was when I was younger? Wiser. Wisdom is not just accumulation of the knowledge. Remember that. Wisdom is how to apply this knowledge. Am I applying it? Is there anything I must do so I will not regret leaving it undone with the last breath of my life? And last breath can be the next breath. Or 5 years from now, a year from now, or 20 years from now, but there will be a last breath. Be ready for that. A yoga abhyasi is always ready for that. Is there anything I must do so I will not regret leaving it undone with the last breath of my life? Have I done anything more than eating, sleeping, going to the bathroom, and growing older? We all have done it. Animals do that too. Ahar, nidra, bhay, methun. Animals do it, and if that's all we have done, we are no better than animals. Through my asana, yoga, pranayam, meditation, study of the spiritual principles, and the lives of the masters, how much inner contentment have I gathered? Santosh. Do I depend upon the external people or external objects or external situations for contentment, or do I have inner contentment at any given point? Ask these questions. Deep down, you know the answers. Dig the answers. See if those answers are taking you towards the ultimate goal or not. So cultivating true contemplation will infuse your meditation practice with spiritual fervor. So when you ask these questions, this is what will happen. Only then you can expect true and everlasting transformation from meditation. There has to be some transformation. No matter what we do in life, we want to see some changes. The same thing goes with meditation. Is there transformation or not? There are many methods of meditation. In all of them, the most important thing is to be systematic. Even the best method of meditation, if not done systematically, is of little use. I am going to give you 9 points which are indispensable in a systematic practice. Number 1, before practicing, freshen up and prepare yourself psychologically. Wash your hands and face. Make sure you have loose clothes, comfortable clothes. If there's any belt you are wearing, take it out. If any kind of a jewelry you are wearing, which is making you take your attention towards that part of your body, take it out. The room where you meditate should be clean and the temperature should be moderate. So that means the outer environment should be conducive to your meditation. Number 2, do a relaxation practice. Several rounds of alternate nostril breathing. That's how you overcome the fatigue before sitting for meditation. Okay, do a little pranayam. Number 3, make a mental resolution that for the next 20 to 30 minutes, you will entertain neither your memories of the past nor your anxieties of the future. Okay, got to have a resolution. So next 20 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever you decide, it's up to you, or 15 minutes. But even if you want to start with the 10 minutes, that's fine too. Okay. You can sit on a floor if your body lets you, in a comfortable crossed-legged position, or sit in a chair if you cannot sit on the floor, with your feet flat on the floor, parallel to each other. It's very important. Make sure that your head, neck, and trunk are aligned. Relax your shoulders. Let your hands rest on your knees or thighs. So let go of this body. Step number 5, close your eyes, draw your mind from all directions. Mentally draw a circle of light around yourself. So you are separating yourself from all external affairs. Fill your mind and heart with the feeling of divine presence. Remind yourself that the divine light pervading the universe is present within you. So fill your mind and heart with the feeling of the divine presence. The God is with us all the time, but we forget it. So you got to remind your mind. And then remind yourself that divine light. See, when we look up into the sky, don't we see the divine light? Whether a sunny day or a cloudy day like today, still there is a divine light. So remind yourself that divine light pervading the universe is present within you. After establishing the presence of the divine, bring your attention towards your breath. Step number 6, breathe gently and naturally without jerks, pauses, or noise. And if you have done pranayam, and if you are doing jalneti every day, you should be able to do this. Make sure your breath is flowing smooth. So smoothly, evenly, and soundlessly breath is a good breath. So as soon as you have completed your inhalation, begin exhalation, begin inhaling as soon as you have completed your exhalation. So your mind is on your breath, you inhale, exhale. Mind should not go anywhere else but on the breath. So you inhale and exhale. If the breath were as an unbroken circle. Sometimes I tell people, people who knew students, they think there's a pulley. Okay. To make sure that you are breathing diaphragmatically, be aware of the gentle outward then inward motion of your abdomen. So inhale, abdomen out a little bit, exhale, abdomen inside. So as you inhale and exhale, your chest should move only slightly, or even not at all. That kind of a breath, a meditator's breath. Number 7, focus on your breath. Watch how it flows from your nostrils to your heart center as you inhale. And from the heart center to the nostrils as you exhale. Okay. And you all know the heart center. So focus on your breath. So your mind is on your breath and you're watching it flow from your nostrils to the heart center as you inhale. And from the heart center to the nostrils as you exhale. Okay. So after that deep abdominal breathing, you are just doing from the heart to the nostril. Notice the breath as it passes the point where your nostrils meet your upper lip. So you're making that area shorter and shorter to focus on with the help of your breathing. Step number 8, deepen your concentration on your breath. Allow your mind to follow the flow of your breath with each inhalation. Try to feel that your mind is traveling between your nostrils and your heart, and with each exhalation, back from the heart to the nostrils. So that means your breath and mind are flowing together. So that means your pran and your man, they are becoming one. Inseparable stream of awareness. Even from here, you can still go deeper into your breath and you will hear in your mind a sound that naturally emerges from the breath. Normally, our attention is in the external so much that we just don't pay attention to this internal sound. But when you deepen your practice, you'll be able to hear this sound. That sound is so it's going on all the time. Focus mentally on the sound. So while you inhale, listen to the sound. So, and while you exhale, listen to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. So, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound, but you are listening to the sound. Okay, you are not making the sound You are listening to the sound, which is already present inside you. See, just like you are not bringing the light of divinity inside, you are trying to focus on the light which always was there. Let your mind breathe and the sound soham flow together. Stay with this practice as long as you find it enjoyable. And the next step, for those who have received a personal mantra through formal initiation, is to focus on that mantra. But if you have not, just stay with the Soham. Okay? The fruits of your meditation also depends upon how lovingly, faithfully, and one-pointedly you meditate on your mantra. So those elements are to be there. An even more significant factor is how you manage your daily life outside your meditation sessions. Even if you behave like a sage during the 30 minutes you meditate every day, if during the remaining 23 and a half hours you are not mindful of your thoughts, speech, and actions, it's like pouring a cup of milk in a barrel of muddy water and expecting to get a barrel of milk. Remember that. Greed, selfishness, and an overbearing ego are deeply rooted in our unconscious mind. Constant meditation, which is supported by self-observation and self-analysis, can help us identify the subhuman characteristics in ourselves. So this kind of a meditation will help us get rid of the negativity from our personality. According to the sages, you become what you think. And that is why the object of meditation is more important than the technique of concentration on that object. So that's why I was telling you earlier, if we are trying to meditate, see, Tratak is meant to clean our eyes. But if somebody says, no, I want to just do the Tratak and gain the power, then ego is not gone. Ego becomes strengthened. So we got to be careful. For a meditator, the goal is go inward, connect upward. Then you will know the silence to do outward also. We are all a citizen of two worlds. The world within and the world without. To be a successful person, you will need to understand how to build a bridge between these two worlds, the inner world and the outer world. Extreme views are never helpful. It is best to control your own thoughts, sensations, emotions, urges, if you want to become a seasoned meditator. And control does not mean stopping these things entirely or overindulging. Control means balance. Balance. That's why Lord Krishna said, Yukta ahar. Yukta is balanced. To achieve it, calm down the parts of the mind that are running so fast. Definitely, you will need to rest the entirety of your mind. And for that, you should learn a new way of knowing yourself. That method of inner knowing is called meditation. Because when we identify ourselves with the body, or certain kind of an image of our personality, we are behaving differently. But when we know that, no, I am part of God, when you really know that, sure, focus on the body first, next the breath, then the senses, finally the mind. When you sit down and meditate. Meditation will give you the capacity to improve your health. You will see that the physical body becomes better. Your relationships and the skillfulness with which you perform your activities, they all become better. This is because meditation can do something no other technique can accomplish, which is it introduces you to yourself, which we have just forgotten. Even though all of us are part of God, but we have forgotten that for a long, long time. So it introduces you to yourself on all levels and finally leads you to the center of consciousness within, from which consciousness flows through all the channels of our life. And the center and the higher self is the Atma. While the basic principles are simple to learn, you will find that the more consistently you practice, the more fully you will experience the benefits. Okay. So benefits are there, but in order to reap the benefits, you have to practice it sincerely, systematically, faithfully. Okay. So at first you may notice simple changes, because how do we know that our meditation is working or not? You will see that increased calmness. And you will have a resistance to stress. In any given situation where you used to get stressful, now you don't. That is the outcome of the practice of meditation. But as you progress, you will notice deeper and more significant developments within yourself. So these are just preliminary outcomes of meditation. You will see this inward journey is very pleasant. Even in a very grave situation, you are still joyful. Because the real you is always joy. Is nothing but joy and bliss. And you have found out that's who you are. Provided you are persistent and practice regularly. We have seen these days meditation word is an overused word. That's why there are a variety of meanings. That's why there's a good deal of confusion about what precisely meditation is and how to practice it. Some people mistakenly use the word meditate to mean thinking or contemplating. Others use it to refer as a daydreaming or fantasizing or just relaxing. But meditation is not any of these, as I was telling you earlier. Very distinct process. And it is very important to fully understand before we start practicing. So meditation is a specific technique for resting the mind, attaining a state of consciousness that is totally different from the normal waking state. See, what do we do in the waking state? Waking state is when our senses are awake. We are drawing the information, it's coming inside. But in meditation, it's the opposite of that. In meditation, you are fully awake and alert, but mind is not focused on the external world or even the events which are taking place. And neither is your mind asleep. Remember that. It's not dreaming, it's not fantasizing. Instead, it is clear, relaxed, and inwardly focused. The root of the word meditation is similar to that for medical or medicate. The root of all these words implies that sense of attending to or paying attention to something. So in meditation, you pay attention to the dimensions of yourself, which are seldom known. Your own deepest, innermost levels. These deeper levels are more profound than the process of thinking, analyzing, daydreaming, or experiencing emotions or memories. Meditation involves a type of inner attention that is quiet, concentrated, and at the same time relaxed. There is nothing difficult or strenuous about creating this inner attention. In fact, you will find that meditation is a process that is restful for the mind. If somebody says, no, I'm too old to meditate, no. We all need to meditate. It helps relax muscular tension and the autonomic nervous system. And that's how it provides freedom from mental stress. A person attains a tranquil mind, and this helps the immune system by limiting its reaction to stress and strain. Meditation will decrease your need for sleep. If you are sleeping, if you need 8 hours of sleep, you will see that half an hour of meditation will reduce the need for longer sleep, because you will feel energized at the bodily level as well as the mental level. So it's a systematic way of enhancing our innate talents in daily life. We help the mind stop other stressful mental processes like worrying, planning, thinking, and reasoning. Because that time we are not doing any of it. Meditation is not some strange or foreign practice that requires you to alter your beliefs, reject your culture, or change your religion. Remember that. Okay? It's not a religion at all, but rather a practical, scientific, and systematic technique for knowing yourself on all levels. Somebody says, I don't believe in God, but do you believe yourself? Meditate. The system of meditation promotes inner spirituality, not any particular religion. So at the end, I would like to say that meditation teaches you how to experience directly for yourself. It's not just to believe in somebody else's words. These Rishi Munis, these gurus, yogis, they said you have to experience it yourself. In order to experience yourself, you got to go through this process regularly, systematically, faithfully, lovingly. That's what Lord Krishna said, that's what Rishi Patanjali said. So hopefully all of you will start meditating. regularly. Regularly means every day. Every day. Okay. Let's stop it here. If you have any questions, we'll go through those question answers. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti 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 Om. Thank you very much.